welcome to It's Covered, the insurance podcast. Because if you think that insurance is boring, then you are not doing it correctly. I am Paul.
And I'm Mel.
And you are probably already wondering what in the world is wrong with our sound.
Absolutely nothing. It's your ears.
You need to get those checked. It's time for your annual hearing check.
Often forgotten, but you shouldn't. So, public reminder: get your ears checked. Clean the wax out.
Quit listening to metal in the car with the volume up to 10.
Yes, turn that down. Note from your parent.
All right, so for those of you who are watching on video, and hopefully this video comes out because nothing is plugged in, and for those who are watching on video, you know why. Well, the lights are out.
Yeah, it's dark in here.
Yeah, we were planning on recording. We were planning on recording a couple of things today, and then the lights went out.
Yeah,
and we were planning to do a lot more work today.
Yeah, but with the power going out and everything relying on electricity and the internet and computers, we're kind of in the dark ages.
Well, and that's actually going to be, kind of a spur of the moment topic today, because this made us reminisce about working in the dark before. But I mean, one of the big problems, with our current level of technology, and I am very, very much pro technology. It's made our lives a lot easier. You know, if you walk around our office, we do not have giant filing cabinets set up.
That's right.
And we're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
But one of the problems is even if the internet goes out, we're just hosed.
Yeah.
There's not a lot. I mean, when the internet goes out, then we can at least get some scanning done. And something like that. But we can't actually put the scanned images into someone's file because all of our filing things are online like everything else.
Yep.
But we can at least get that done. When the power goes out, it's like I can shuffle the paperwork on my desk, but I can't enter it. I can't send it.
That's right.
Anything. And our phones are internet based now, and so when the internet goes out, there's no phones.
Which is good because if a customer were to call in and talk to me, they would realize just how much of an idiot I sound without my computer.
Right, yes.
So I'm glad that I can't talk to them.
You're like, Bob? Yes, I talked to you like an hour ago. Really?
That's right.
So I was thinking, kind of the fun ways that we have tried to get around this in the past. Now, and as our listeners and viewers know, we are in a small town.
Yes. And
we got internet as they were laying the wires to get good high-speed internet here. We were suffering for a couple of weeks on just really, really terrible internet, and phones wouldn't work right. We kept using cell phones and stuff. And then finally they got out here. But one of the problems with that is that, and it always happened on a Friday, and it always happened on the last day of the month.
Oddly, yes. That was weird the way that happened.
Yeah, but the internet would just crap out on us.
Yep.
And this I mean, when I say this happened often, I mean there were just strings of months where the last day of every month, just in a row.
Yeah.
And I had our internet provider's website, like the network status page, saved on my cell phone, and their customer service line saved on their cell phone.
Yeah.
I just dialed the first couple of numbers and it would pop up. It's like, oh yeah, your internet must be out because you're calling this. Well, and that was hugely frustrating. There were a couple of times that we had one laptop at the time. We actually have a couple now. This is for those who are watching, this is one of them. This is the only way we're able to record because this thing has full battery on it, and hopefully my phone is videoing us today.
Yeah.
So hopefully the batteries last on that one. But we would send the laptop with someone to a Starbucks. They're like, here are the people to call, sell something.
And get reports of, yeah, I can see the internet guy on the pole now.
Oh, and the guy got to know me. Because I would, if it lasted a while, I'd go talk to him. And that was nice. I was very polite, you know. I felt bad for the guy, but he was always the same dude, and he was always out here.
Yeah.
And there was one time at the end of the month, and we were working on a big deal. It was, it was one of those, like, you know, home, auto, boat, Rittenhouse types of a deal.
At a time when you needed it.
At a time when I needed it. It was last day of the month. And I was on the phone with the internet provider, and the month before this, like, the person I talked to was fantastic. And she says, look, this is the information I'm getting from my guy in the field. But it looks like he's a couple of blocks from you. This is where he is. Why don't you go talk to him? Which I don't think she was supposed to tell me.
Right.
But she did.
Which was great. Customer service.
That's great customer service. And so I went to go out and talk to him. He's a nice guy, you know. But the next month, it was one of those things that they were like, we don't even have an estimate. You know, this might be a 2 a.m. thing. I don't know. And we were like, this is a $10,000 package that I need to close today.
Yeah.
What? Let me go talk to the guy. Let me see if I can, talk to him.
Before today, because before that day, because you don't have until the end of the day, really.
For us to get, this was the last day of the month, and in the way our underwriting and everything goes, we need to get it in even before 5, preferably before 4, just to make sure it gets issued that day. Because if we send it in at 6 o'clock, they ain't doing it. They're doing it the next day, and we've gotten bid on that before.
And the customer has no such time frame.
Oh yeah.
The customer's like, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out in the morning." No.
Yeah, no. Let's not. Let's figure it out right now. So I went out and what I didn't go. I was trying to say, I was like, okay, tell me where this dude is. I was on my cell phone and I was already getting in the car. And the person on the phone was like, oh, well, I have no idea. I'm like, I know you know. Because last time they told me, oh, I have no idea. It's like, that's baloney.
Yeah.
You know, I know that's baloney. Are you getting phone calls while we're recording? That's so unprofessional.
Sorry.
So, well, I mean, you know, it's unprofessional to record in the dark with no microphones, too. but we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. So I was driving around. It was a small town. There's, you know, and like, I know where I don't know what they're called, but the internet service boxes are.
Right.
You know, we've dealt with this a lot. We've dealt with this a whole lot.
A lot more than you should.
Right. I've seen the guy in only one of about 5 places. I know where he's going to. It's like I know you can tell me.
Yeah.
But you won't. And so I was arguing with a lady. I really have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know I don't know what that lady was looking at. And meanwhile, I was like, never mind. I found him. But that was one. I can't remember. I think that one was fixed a little bit earlier, but oh goodness, those are fun.
Yeah.
In claims, we'd have similar. Were you there when AT&T accidentally cut the fiber optic cable to our office?
I think so. I didn't know that was the case.
Yeah, no,
it was out for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, no, it was dead, and that. Yes, that's what ended up happening. They were fixing something outside, and it just happens. It was an accident. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But they just snapped that thing in two.
Yeah,
And so and again, in claims, our internet, our phone's connected to the internet, everything's to the internet. I can't even get into a file without the internet.
Right.
And this was when our office was kind of new, and we were still actually making folders for new claims. We weren't putting anything in them. You know?
Yeah. Just basic information.
I think if in the initial contact, if we filled out the piece of paper before we typed it into the system, then we would put that in the folder. But more and more we were getting away from that, because that's just, that's writing something down twice. So we would just type it in. So if we got a fax, we'd throw it in there until we realized it's like, well, just send it to scanning. Goodness. And so but we had all these filing cabinets, and they just were filled with empty folders. And it's like 1 in 30 of them would have a single piece of paper in it.
Yeah.
And it was just really kind of ridiculous. And we got away from that pretty quickly. But at the time, it's like we were trying to figure out things to do. And they were, and so, they were like, well, okay, let's start. We have a bunch of paperwork. Let's just start filing it, because we're paying these people. And I think the hourly processors got sent home at some point, but they're like, well, the adjusters are salaried. we got to pay them anyways. Let's make them work. And so they gave us a choice. That we could. We didn't have laptops yet. The claims now has laptops, so this is easy,
Right.
But we didn't have laptops. We had this just janky interface that you could log in from, like, your home desktop.
Oh my goodness!
And you opened up like your web browser, and you entered in, and that web browser would open up an older version of a web browser inside the web browser. And so it's like you're running Google Chrome, and it's opening up like 2 generations ago of Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
Inside, and as you can guess, that doesn't make things fast.
Which kills everything in claims, because again, without your computer, the customer is asking questions you just cannot answer, and you can't answer them fast enough for them.
Right, yeah. And it was like that Internet Explorer was like opening a connection into my system online, but it wouldn't communicate with my desktop. So I couldn't like type up a Word document on my desktop and save it into the file. I had to open up Word inside of Internet Explorer, inside of Google Chrome.
Oh my goodness.
To do that, which is just janky. It didn't work. It's all fixed now. This was years and years and years ago. But so we were given a choice. We were given a choice of, well, go home, get on your janky computer, and make initial contacts. Now remember, at the time, adjusters were not making the initial contacts. The processors were.
Right.
As adjusters. So this was in a PIP MedPay office. And so mostly what we were doing was paying medical bills and reviewing medical notes and that sort of thing. Doing follow-ups with doctors and stuff. So we weren't doing the initial contact. It's like, okay, so you can go home and do the processor's job for them because they're hourly, so we clock them out.
Right.
Or stay here and just do mind-numbing filing of paperwork. And I think the leadership was expecting us all to say, paperwork's boring. Let me go make initial contact.
Exactly.
No, that's not what any of us did. It's not what any of us did. And we were like, to a man, we'll file some paperwork. Because the last thing we did not know what had happened at this point.
Right.
So we didn't know when the electricity was going to come back on, and we did not want to be at home doing somebody else's work when the lights might come on at the office and we can do our own work.
Right.
Because we were busy and there was a lot of work to do. So finally, we did that for like 10 minutes until they finally forced us all to go home and get connected to do initial contacts. And so I went home and I did not have a great internet connection. And then I was entering into this janky interface. I'm going to keep using the word janky. I don't care.
It's just what it was.
It's just what it was. And so I was entering into this janky interface, and it was just not moving. It's like I click a link and go make myself a sandwich, you know? And it's like trying to do a file review in front of an initial contact.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Like dial-up speeds.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, let me pull up his injury information.
About then it hits 5%.
Right, yeah. And then eventually it's like, oh, we didn't get injury information. It just says other. Okay, well let me get car damage information. Rear end accident. Okay. This is the dumbest thing. And so we were I called up my manager and I'm like, look, I'm going to come back to the office because I cannot do this. It is not working for me. And they did finally fix things about the time that I got back. But by this time, it's almost the end of the day.
Yeah.
I've now come from home to work, done nothing, went back home, did nothing, went back to work.
Not a productive day.
No, it was not. Now, fast forward to today, things have gotten so much better. So like now, actually, and we've been told that the reason we're still here is we've been given an estimate.
Right.
We know how this goes.
Yeah, we've been through it enough.
Yeah. So the estimate is about an hour from now. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of expecting about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But things have changed a little bit. We now both have connections at home. Mm-hmm. Claims, all the adjusters have laptops that can work from home. Your wife has a laptop. Yep. She can work from home. And so these things are not nearly as... And our phone systems, it's like, even 3 years ago when we first started, I tried, we have a VoIP system, which is voice over IP, which is internet phones. And so they're saying, well, you can do it on your cell phone, get our app and it does it. And it was crap, utter crap. Yeah. But today, even 3 years later, it's much better.
It is.
And we can handle all of our calls from home.
Yeah.
We can handle all of our work from home. Mm-hmm. The only thing we can't do from home is make a video of us doing a podcast.
That's right.
Or if somebody comes to the door, which if that happens right now, nothing's going to get done anyways. But we'll chat with them.
Yeah, we'll talk with them, offer them some room temperature water, I guess, now, because it's not electricity is not keeping it cold.
Yeah. No coffee.
No. Or they can have some of mine if they want. But I don't think they'll pick it.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah. We have some customers that may, but I wouldn't offer it to them because I know them. But
when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That's true. Great people, but just it's without electricity. It is. Your mind expands to see what you can do. I mean, when you're a little kid and electricity goes out, you have a ton of things that run through your mind. Ooh, we can do this, we can do that. But when you're in business, it's just frustrating.
Yeah. I remember, because I grew up in this area. And you remember Hurricane Alicia.
No. I don't think so. I may not have been in Texas.
Oh, okay. When did you move out?
That would have been. Oh, okay. About 93.
Okay, you were here, but it did not hit you.
No, I was probably on the border, where I grew up.
So yeah, Alicia was a bad one. It was not as bad as Harvey.
Okay.
Harvey's the worst one I've seen.
Okay.
We're for those who don't know, we're in Houston, and so we've gone through a couple of hurricanes.
Yeah,
we're experienced. We know what we're doing around here. But Alicia was bad when I was a kid at the time, and I was electricity was out, and I was playing He-Man in the front entry of the house. And the reason I was in the front entry of the house is it was one of the few rooms that had a hard floor. And so you could stand up the figures, right? Yeah. Because carpet, that doesn't work.
That's right.
And so we're standing up the figures, and I had them all lined up. And I, like, Skeletor, like, he was, like, casting, I forgot, but he's casting some spell on everything. And at that moment, there was a bolt of lightning so close, the ground shook. Whoa. And all of the characters fell down.
To add to the effect.
Yeah, I was like, yeah! Kind of freaked me out, but at the same time, it was really cool. Yeah. I was like, yeah, Skeletor's got the magic. Oh, goodness. So, but yeah, so, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have battery to do another video episode. Okay. But, we're going to test out the audio on this, and if it's not terrible, maybe we can make use of this time and get a couple episodes out of the way.
That's right, because it's fun to talk about insurance whenever the lights are on or off.
Yes. And while we have tons of work to do, none of it can be done.
That's right.
For the time being. And so, yeah, might as well do something fun with it. So, thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm interested to hear y'all's stories on days with no electricity and what interesting things that you figured out to do to kind of keep busy, keep productive when your whole system is down.
Yeah, do you keep board games at the office?
See, and Melvin and I were talking about this earlier because I just got for my birthday, I got Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. Now, some of you know the game. It's a newer game. Betrayal at House on the Hill, I think it's called.
The original one.
Yeah, the original one. And so this board game, it's a horror board game. But it plays out one of 50 scenarios. And so it's never quite the same game twice unless you play more than 50 times. It's really kind of cool. Well, they made a version of it based on Dungeons and Dragons, which is the Betrayal of Baldur's Gate. And so a lot of the rules have changed a little bit to more fit Dungeons and Dragons, and the monsters and stuff are more Dungeons and Dragons-y. And so I was telling Melvin, it's like I'm trying to learn how to play this thing, and I should have brought the instruction manual. Let's sit down and...
That would have worked great right now.
That would have been great. So, oh, goodness. Well, thank you again for joining us. I really do appreciate it. If you do have internet where you are, please share this episode. We really do appreciate you tuning in each and every week. We do ask that you let some friends know about it. I know if you're like us, you hang out with other insurance folks. Let them know about our podcast. We want to be here to kind of explore some ideas. Some of them really weird, some of them kind of out there, some of them, very much day-to-day stuff. But, we want to kind of keep exploring these topics and just have extended conversations about them so that we all get better at what we're doing. So please join us in that. Share it with some friends, and we will catch you next week.
Bye-bye.